Hi, I'm David Lee. At the very beginning of my speech, I would first like to ask you to raise your hand if you have ever been to the beach and saw, heard, or felt the power of a crashing wave. As students studying at a coastal school and living in a seaside city, visiting the beach and seeing waves are not uncommon. Each time I approach the beach, I typically lie on the warm sand and soak in the sun, as the salty spray tickles my skin. The thunderous roar of the waves fills my ears, and the sheer force of the waves takes my breath away, leaving me in awe of nature's power. For me, it's an incredible display of nature. Just like many of you, I find the beach a place of both relaxation and wonder. While sitting on the Acacia beach one day, the rhythmic dances of the waves captivated me, prompting me to wonder, what creates these waves? Are they just some random act of nature, or is there something more to it? Now, imagine a wave in your mind, not the crashing giants of the ocean, but perhaps something a little calmer, like the gentle swells on a lake or river. Maybe you are picturing a serene wave of the inner lake at Talent Park. The water there is almost mirror-like, disturbed only by gentle ripples. The water laps gently on the shore, reflecting sunlight and creating a sense of tranquility. The lake is calm and soothing, a perfect spot for relaxation. But is this calmness inherent to the water itself, or is it influenced by something else? Well, in the nature, waves form due to water's motion, gravitational forces, winds, and tides. Take the Qiantang River as an example. Every summer, the Qiantang River becomes a spectacle that draws people from all over the world, as the waves there are unlike any other. The Qiantang River tidal bore can surge upstream, creating water walls up to 30 feet high. It's a sight that draws crowds from the world, and it's also a testament to the power of nature to create a surprising phenomenon. So, what makes these waves? Waves of Qiantang River and waves of the inner lake at Talent Park so different? The answer lies in their environment. In fact, the essence of both is water. Whether we see the mighty waves of Qiantang River or the gentle ripples of the inner lake at Talent Park, it is the environment that dictates how this water behaves. But the influence of the environment isn't limited to bodies of water. Think about it. Just as the water's behavior is influenced by its surroundings, the environment we find ourselves in, our schools, our workplaces, our families, our social circles, all play crucial roles in shaping who we are. This brings us to the core idea of today's speech. Our environment is a powerful force that shapes our behavior, our development, and ultimately who we are. Just as water's behavior is influenced by its environment, our personal development is also largely influenced by our surroundings. Undeniably, we will all experience various environments, from the ones we enjoyed to the ones we are not so fond of. The key is to be water, adaptable and ever-changing. Just as the famous martial art master Bruce Lee once said, empty your mind, be formless and shapeless, like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes a cup. If you put water into a bottle, it becomes a bottle. If you put water into a teapot, it becomes a teapot. Water can flow or it can crash. Additionally, after adapting to its environment, water also possesses the capacity to reshape its surroundings. Similarly, we should adapt to our environment while simultaneously moving to reshape them, using our presence to leave a positive impact. The key is to embrace every situation life puts you in, adapt to it, and then work to reshape it. It's about maintaining a calm and flexible mindset, which will help us navigate life's twists and turns and while leaving our mark on the world. Now, let me take you back to my days in public school. Raise your hand if you have felt like you were drowning in textbooks. Oops. Well, that was definitely me during my public school time. But don't get me wrong, Chinese public schools generally provide a valuable foundation of academic knowledge. But for me, it felt more like pressure than progress. There were endless expectations, mountains of homework, and an atmosphere that, well, wasn't exactly bursting with creativity. Teachers always said, if you cannot get 70 out of 70 in physics, you won't be able to get into a very good high school. In addition, I felt like everything was about memorizing tedious texts and facts and getting the right answer, which stifled my curiosity and desire to explore. This pressure built up inside me like a huge wave, and it culminated during the final mock exam before Zhongkao. It was a huge deal for everyone, as it was a final opportunity to self-evaluate before the eventual examination. For me, however, the stress became unbearable. I felt like I was drowning in expectations and fear. So I did something unexpected. I chose not to take that exam. It wasn't an act of defiance, but a desperate cry for help, a way to preserve my sanity. Not taking that exam felt like a failure at the time, but looking back, it was a turning point. I did not let the moment define me, as I realized I need to make some changes and take care of my well-being. School wasn't the enemy. Rather, it was a crucial milestone for acquiring knowledge and skills. So, to manage my stress, I started doing physical exercise. Jogging and weightlifting became my stress relievers, helping me clear my head and face challenges with a calmer perspective. Slowly, my resistance to schools, teachers, and tests faded, and I studied actively for the Zhongkao, ultimately achieving a high score. Despite earning a solid score, I found that the traditional Chinese educational system, which involved a structured learning environment and an emphasis on memorization, were not suitable for me. Energized by this newfound sense of control, I decided to take a leap and transfer to an international school. And now, I'm at VMA. Initially, I pictured VMA as a world of creativity, innovation, and self-expression, a place where my search for knowledge could be embraced and cultivated. I thought that the environment would be completely different. Gone was the structure and the rote learning. Here, it would be all about open-ended projects, group discussions, and independent exploration. At first, I thought I could hurdle every obstacle at my path in VMA. But then, reality hit. Coming from a highly structured environment with clear instructions. I find myself overwhelmed by the open-ended nature of work. It was like trying to navigate a turbulent river without a paddle. I had asked myself, what's the right answer the teacher is looking for? And how do I even begin this project? Not only did I face issues that arose from differentiated education philosophy, but my mindset also posed challenges. Due to my limited verbal proficiency, I felt anxious and apprehensive about confidently expressing myself in class. I encountered various issues, from critical thinking, from understanding different teaching styles, adapting to an English environment, and managing my time effectively. But here's the thing. As the new environment is more daunting than the familiar one, fear can overcome your mind as you attempt to navigate this new place while trying to achieve your goals. Instead of letting the fear win, I decided to use some tactics to help me. I started by setting small and achievable goals for me. Despite I was nervous, I tried my best to engage more actively in class discussions and sought feedback from teachers. I messaged them and asked them questions frequently. I also practiced my English language skills, reading English novels and watching English speeches on YouTube channels. Slowly but surely, I began to find my footing. I became more innovative when presenting my ideas, collaborative when working in groups, and confident when expressing myself. After adapting to VMA, I tried to leave my mark on this community. Starting from grade 10, I became the house leader of Yuan House, instilling culture, passion, and energy in my peers. That year, we won the title, Lone House. And today, I'm really honored to be here, be a student leader, and share my story with you guys and contribute to this community. The transition from a public school to VMA wasn't just about navigating a new place. It was about transforming myself. VMA pushed me to hone various skills, from critical thinking to collaboration. Most importantly, it taught me to believe in myself and my ability to learn, grow, and contribute no matter the environment. The mindset of embracing every situation life presents, adapting to it, and then working to reshape it, is widely adopted by many celebrities. For instance, Bruce Li, author of the famous saying, "Be watcher, my friend," exemplified this idea. Born in California and raised in Hong Kong, Bruce Li believed the Chinese culture had much to offer to the Western world. Therefore, he started his career as an actor in the US. But long-standing US stereotypes portrayed Asian Americans as evil villains or servants with slanted eyes, buck teeth, and long pigtails. This racial discrimination hindered Bruce's progress as an actor and a culture disseminator. To step outside of these racist stereotypes, Bruce Lee often presented compelling kung fu exhibitions for the public, ultimately achieving success as an actor. Building upon this opportunity, Bruce Lee became the first Asian American to be a protagonist on a Hollywood movie. Nevertheless, Bruce Lee didn't leave himself to adapt to the social environment. He also reshaped the society. He dedicated his life to spreading Chinese culture and martial art. He was successful in breaking through a long-standing US stereotypes of Chinese and instilling optimism and confidence to all minorities in the world. He is seen to this day as a symbol of solidarity and a beacon of positivity. Su Shi, a renowned Chinese poet, official, and calligrapher of the Song Dynasty, applied this idea as well. Throughout his life, Su experienced significant personal highs and lows. Once, he was exiled to Hainan, a place far from the capital. It was one of the most severe punishments of the time. Despite its drastic changes, Su perfectly adapted to the social environment. He also worked actively to benefit the local people. He displayed integrity when serving as an official, helping people of Hangzhou through famine. He supervised the construction of a rampart in Xuzhou to withstand floods. He also established schools, becoming a pioneer of culture in Hainan. In each community he touched, Su Shi left a lasting, positive impact. Now, let's circle back to my personal anecdote. The current public school system, with its emphasis on structure, shaped me into an individual who valued instructions and concrete goals. The international school I attend, on the other hand, fostered my creativity and independence. For me, an appropriate learning environment should be both creative and engaging, enabling students to pursue and explore into their interests. But we all have varying preferences on matters that extend beyond studying, such as living, traveling, and many other aspects of life. Well, there isn't an environment that suits all. As students in VMA, we are all going to embark on journeys across the world to destinations such as the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and beyond. In this new environment, we will undoubtedly face situations where we might feel out of control. The world is becoming increasingly complex and diverse, presenting challenges as we interact with different people. For example, the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics prominently featured elements related to LGBTQ+ rights and an emphasis on racial and gender equality. These topics are currently hotly debated across cultures and people. These differences and discussions indicate the complexity of a new environment, where perspectives may vary widely, and where we encounter ideas that challenge our beliefs. This can be difficult and uncomfortable for us at times. In addition to culture, academic challenges and different lifestyles will serve as barriers for us at times. So, when confronted with social and life obstacles, it is truly important to remember the lesson of being like water. It means overcoming the initial discomfort while trying to find ways to strive despite challenges. Just as a lake creates a new ecosystem, or waves reshape the coastline. We also possess the capacity, like Bruce Lee and Su Shi, to contribute to our community. Thus, as we prepare to continue our journeys and adventures, let us embrace the spirit of water. Adaptable, yet powerful. Ready to flow with the current and capable of shaping the world around us. Thank you.